Upgrade your shit.
Hey, what's up? I'm Coach RT3 from the Upgrade Guys, and today we're going to talk about swinging steel mace. So you might have seen a previous video where I talked about biggest bang for your buck being rotation of the shoulder joint, and we addressed shoulder internal rotation from a sleeper stretch, which targets the shoulder capsule, which should help you increase or enhance the space for rotation. But one of the things that we can also look at is self-assessing. So the first thing I'm going to do when I'm assessing myself, or you're assessing anyone, is check overhead range of motion. One of the quick and easy ways that we can do that is by simply laying on the back, pressing the back firmly against the floor, and then we'll just take our hand up and overhead and see how far we go. Now, if you do that motion and you end up here, then we have some questions that we need to ask. What's going on in that shoulder joint that's not giving you the range of motion that you need? Or if you get to this point and your back starts to arch up off the ground because you're trying to steal space to reach there, that's another sign that we need to look at what's going on with the shoulder that's causing you to compensate in the spine. So what we'll do here today is we'll look at external rotation. So as I said before, we've done internal rotation of the shoulder joint from the sleeper. This time we'll do external rotation from a prone position laying on our stomach. So one of the setups that I like for external rotation, and you can assess your external rotation first too by looking at, before we jump into that, assessing your external rotation by just looking at simply how much do you have actively this way, right? So if I turn to the side, and I'm showing you from here, how much external rotation can I pull out of my shoulder here, right? If I get to here and I'm stuck, then you might want to start working on a little bit more external rotation. So one of the ways that we'll set up for external rotation is to use yoga blocks. Now I use one yoga block at a certain height, and that's going to be the height of my humerus or my elbow. The secondary height is going to be the height in which takes me into external rotation to put me in a passive stretch. So you can start here and find out, okay, is that putting me into a passive stretch? Okay, cool. It is. If you didn't have any external rotation to begin with, then it's good to just start out with a slight bit of passive range of motion. If you do have some external rotation and you want to get a little bit more, you can change the height of the yoga block. You can stack a couple of yoga blocks here. Or you can slide it in closer and change the angle of your shoulder that way. So the closer you are to the elbow joint itself, the more of an angle you're going to create there at the shoulder joint. And so initially what we'll do is you'll just use that passive stretch there, spend some time there. And if you are just getting started with training mobility, we want to just create passive range to begin with. So the first thing that we'll do is you'll jump in and you'll just create the passive range. And the passive range is going to give you access to be able to start doing work there. What we'll do to create a little bit of, or to drive a little bit of force into that area is we'll begin to do a light, what we call Pails contraction. So from here, a Pails contraction is going to be that progressive tissue. So the tissue on the back is shortened, the tissue on the front is lengthened. That tissue on the front, we're going to start to activate that as we try to internally rotate from this position. So we're trying to do this, okay? And you'll just ramp up over time. So over the course of 15 seconds, and if you're just starting with this, just working at a very low level, like 30% or so, is good. So you ramp up slowly, 1 degree at a time, all the way up to 30%, and then just hold it there for another 15 seconds, and then slowly relax it. So that's just giving us the opportunity to start to put force into those tissues at length, which they're not used to at all because you haven't been in that space. So give that a try as a start point. If you're interested in learning more, go visit our website, theupgradeguys.com. We have 15-minute mobility snacks and much more available training sessions for you to be able to start working on this stuff to help you bulletproof your shoulders for steel mace training.
Upgrade your shit.